Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Preston here from Bull City Reader, and welcome to this week's video. A few days ago I posted on Twitter, so if you're not following me on Twitter, I'll put the link down below to where you can follow me on Twitter. I posed the question to y'all, my fans: what non-book related questions would you like for me to answer? I'll answer whatever questions you throw out there. And so I got some replies, and so I'm going to answer those questions today, if you couldn't tell by the description already. But anyway, let's jump on into it. Got my list right here, and I'm just going to kind of go down the list. One of the questions I'm going to move to the end because I think it would be kind of fun to have that question at the end. So anyway, question number one: what are your favorite TV shows? I have several TV shows that I really like to watch. Big Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan. I'm a big Superstore fan. We watch those regularly on Hulu when they come out, or live if we happen to be at home when they come on. We also really like The Resident. That's been really good. I think it's in its second season right now. Yeah, second season. There's a new doctor show called New Amsterdam that we really like. I've been a fan of Modern Family since they came out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I love Forged in Fire. I watch that every week. I freaking love Forged in Fire. I think it's such a cool show, and every time I get done watching it, I just want to go like make something, hit some steel or something. Those are the shows I like to watch. I'm also a sports fan, so if any of my teams are playing, I like to watch them, which I'm just going to lead that into next question that was submitted. And again, thank you to all those that submitted questions for me. You know who you are. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. The second question, or another question I was asked, is I post a lot on Twitter about, especially recently, about the Carolina Hurricanes, the NHL hockey team. How did I get into how and why did I start watching hockey? Have I played it? So anyway, I've always been a fan, like I said, of sports. My dad told me one day when we were on the phone, he goes, "Since you're a big soccer fan, I'm surprised you don't really watch much hockey." And I hadn't really watched much hockey growing up. I never really played it, never really watched it. And where we live pretty close to where the Carolina Hurricanes play. So we went to a preseason game, had a blast, loved watching it live. So then it bled over into the regular season when it started. I've watched every game that they've had on television except for two because they were playing in California. And the games didn't come on until like 10 or 10:30 my time. Tried to watch one, but ended up falling asleep. And the other one, it was a work night. And now I just sound old saying that. I just didn't want to stay up till 12:30 to watch a game. So anyway, if we're not at the game, we're watching the game. So far this season, we've been to, I think, 5 games. We're actually going to one. If you're watching this on Thursday, I'm at the hockey game. We're going to see the Carolina Hurricanes play the Red Wings, and then who knows? Like I said, I've already been to I think 5 games already, and the season's fairly new. So they're so fun to go to. There's not a bad seat, unless you're sitting right behind the players' bench. Then some of it gets hard to see. We have our favorite spots we like to sit in, but that's how I got into hockey. Just moved here. My dad told me, "Yeah, I'm surprised you don't watch hockey." So went to a game and started watching it, and now I'm freaking obsessed with it. If I can go to a home game, I can. I like to buy my tickets. If I don't get a deal on them online through the Hurricanes themselves, I like to get them on SeatGeek. Not a sponsor, but I use SeatGeek. There was one night my wife had to do something for work, and so I went on SeatGeek. The first period had just started, and like I said, I don't live too far from the stadium. Someone had marked down their tickets, I think it was 7th row from the ice, 7th or 8th row from the ice. And after the ticket fees, which their ticket fees aren't bad, at least what I've bought so far on SeatGeek hasn't, it was like $30 for the ticket. So I bought the ticket, got in my car, made sure my wife was okay with it, bought the ticket, got to the stadium just as the first period was ending, listened to it when I was driving there, and was able to watch the whole, second and third period. $30 to get in, had a good time, met some new people at the game, talked the whole time, just had a good time at the game. So that's how I got into it. Second part to that question, they asked, have I ever played sports, or do I play sports? I played sports when I was younger. I played basketball, soccer, and that's it. I tried baseball one season, sucked at it. Didn't start trying to play baseball until I was like, I think 11 or 12 or something like that, 13. So it wasn't for me. But it was a lot of soccer until I was about 10, and then the city we moved to had a real crappy league. All the teams had been together since they were born, and if you were new, they threw all the new people on a team. So you got people that never played with each other or just started playing with each other, playing against teams that have been together for years, and it just wasn't fun. And then basketball and church basketball is what I used to play. Now I'm a, what do you call it, an armchair quarterback. I sit at home, complain about my teams, especially my Jacksonville Jaguars, because they absolutely suck right now. So yeah, next question. Sorry I rambled on that one. Next question. What's your favorite childhood memory? I don't know if I have a favorite, but I have childhood memories. I've moved around several times. So when I lived in Texas, we had a slip and slide at the house. Just your regular basic yellow slip and slide. Hook a hose up to it, spits the water out. It didn't have the pool at the end. You just slid off into the grass and mud and then ran back up and did it again. I did that, and I would do butt prints on the sidewalk. I'd get wet on the slip and slide and then go on the sidewalk and do butt prints and just say butt print as I was doing it. When we moved to Tennessee, there was a house there that every Halloween scared me to death because they always did something to scare the kids as you were getting candy. So one year I was dressed up as a police officer, had my plastic gun out as I had my candy. They tried to scare me. I started shooting them and said, "You're dead, I shot you." So there's that. When I lived in Illinois, the house that we were in and had a basement, and the basement stairs you could slide out and store stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. I always thought it reminded me of like a Batman hideout or something. Also had a way for you to get out of the basement if you needed to through the window, and then there's like a little area that's cut out in the lawn where you can crawl out. We had one of those. I remember that about Chicago. Then I lived in Georgia. That was, middle school and high school for me. I was in the marching band there, and that's where I met who's now my wife, was when I lived there. And then me and my wife were making our own memories, but that's not when I was childhood. So anyway, I don't have like a favorite memory that sticks out. I just have a lot of memories from different places I've lived. Next question: What are some other hobbies you have other than reading? Besides watching the shows I mentioned, I don't know if I'm a big video gamer, but I play video games. I like to play PlayerUnknown Battleground, also known as PUBG. No, I don't play Fortnite. I like PUBG over Fortnite. I play FIFA. I play Madden. I play NHL and Forza Horizon I've been playing lately. And then watching my shows, or just hanging out with my wife, or going to a sports game if I can, because they're fun to go to. So I enjoy going. My wife enjoys going. So that's what we like to do. We like to go out and also explore the town. Since where we're at, we've only been in the city for a little over a year now, so we're still finding things we like to do, trying to find new restaurants. I like to eat, so we like trying new restaurants. Next question is top 5 favorite movies. I'm going to cheat on this question. I like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I've always liked that movie. Remember the Titans is also a really good one. I like any action movie that Tom Cruise is in. The Mission Impossibles are freaking awesome. I liked him in Jack Reacher. I have liked him in like Days of Thunder and Top Gun. So any action movie with Tom Cruise. I'm a big Pixar fan. I really like The Incredibles and Toy Story are two of my favorite Pixar movies. And then I can't think of another one off the top of my head. Next question, bucket list destination. I would love to go over to Europe or Spain to watch the soccer teams over there. I would love to go see Real Madrid play. Hate Barcelona. No offense if you like them. I'd like to go see Arsenal play, even though they hadn't been too hot over the past season or so. I'd like to go see one of them play. I want to take my wife to Ireland. That's a big one for her. So I would like to go do that. Next question is top 5 desert island albums. My mood for music changes all the time, but if I had to take 5 albums, I didn't think about these questions before. But off the top of my head, The latest Demon Hunter album called Outlive that came out last year is amazing. I love that album if you're a heavy metal fan. I want to say Metallica's Black Album would probably be up there for me. If not the Black Album, 2 albums by them that I think are completely underrated are Load and Reload. A lot of people don't like those albums. I really enjoyed them. What albums do I go back to? Don Bronco Technology. I love that album. It's just a fun, energetic album. We've seen them twice in concert this year. They're fun to see live. I would definitely take one of their albums. Who else would I take? It's going to sound stupid, but Justin Bieber's last album that came out like a year or 2 ago was, man, it's got some solid beats on that. I would love the music on that album. I'd probably take that. And then I don't know what my 5th one would be, but I did mention Load and Reload and Black Album. That's like 3. So anyway, next question is, do you or have you played a musical instrument? Mentioned earlier, I was in the marching band when I lived in Georgia, so I played the trumpet. Started playing the trumpet middle school or right before middle school, through high school. Never played it in college. I was in the marching band. Now that I'm out of marching band, one of my story I always tell about marching band is you have to, when the marching band I was in, you had to memorize your music. If you didn't memorize your music, you wouldn't get the 3rd quarter off. The band always got the 3rd quarter off, so we could go eat and hang out with friends. We just had to be back before the 3rd quarter ended, because right when it ended, we played a song. So my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't pass off my music, so I never got the 3rd quarter off unless the band director was feeling nice and generous. My junior and senior year, I was a rank leader. Never passed off my music, but since I was a rank leader, I got off. But anyway, the final question that I was asked. So the reason why I saved this question for last is when I ran a podcast, I ended with the legendary ending is what I called it. My blog and podcast was called The Legendarium. My podcast was called 30-minute author interviews. It was on The Legendarium. So I did the legendary ending, and I always ended on some fun, lighthearted questions. And so the question that we asked the authors when I ran my podcast, it was the last question we always ended on, besides tell us about your latest book or whatever, promote your latest book. We did Penguin walks in the bar, or Penguin walks in the room right now wearing a sombrero. What does he say and why is he here? That's the question I asked every author when they came on the show. The reason why I saved this question for last is because I feel like it's a question that I would have asked if I had a podcast and I saw this question before. I've never seen this question before. I have thought about it since it was submitted. The question was, would I rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? And I have thought about that, and I do have a slight reason with it. If I was to pick one of these, I would fight 100 duck-sized horses, because it would be a lot easier to just kick out of my way or stomp on. It'd be easier to get away from them or injure them so I could get away. Is it bad that that's where I went with this? But one horse-sized duck would be kind of intimidating. So I'm going to go with the smaller ones because I think it'd be easier to get away from them. It would be funny to see a horse-sized duck run though. But anyway, I digress. Well guys, that is all for this week's video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully it's one of my shorter videos. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions you'd like to see me ask in a future video, just comment down below with those. I'll be back hopefully next week. Just depends on how the holiday weekend goes, with another video for you. But anyway guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Put the subscribe thingy right here. YouTube says that you'll also like this video. So click there for that. And until next time guys, keep reading. I will see you in the next video guys. Goodbye.